Yay! And we're live, hopefully. If not, I'm sure someone will tell me. Oops. Goody. Welcome to the channel. My name's Tastygraph, and I'm a self-proclaimed game designer. I'm not a great programmer, but I get by. I'm currently working on a 2D game in Unity, and I've done the majority of the code from scratch, but I'm using something called Rotors, which is a tile map engine. It's a purchasable asset, which I bought, and it has been working great, for me at least. The rest is basically stuff that I made, programmed, worked on. And my plan for today is to make a sign of sorts. Because, whoops, sorry, playing with the mic. Because as it is right now, I have these in-world hints, and I don't know. I would like to have like little signs or something, and then using those signposts to show text. So I'm thinking about doing that today. Actually, I will be doing that today. And I'm basically going to modify some code that I have here on my door. Basically, this use to enter text doesn't show unless you actually physically move over to the door. And then when you're standing close to the door, it will display the text. So I wanted to make some signposts where, you move close and it'll display the text, and when you move away, it stops displaying the text. So that's one of the plans for today. Hopefully it won't take very long to implement. If it does, then dope. First of all, I'm going to grab a prefab of the door, and just going to slap it in here. And then strip away the stuff that I don't want on it. I need a box collider. I don't need this. And I do need this. I don't really need an animator. I could add it later in case I want animations onto it, which would probably be a neat thing. And also I'm gonna need to open up Photoshop because I need to draw the sign real quick. And I tend to draw all my sprites in 128 by 128. And I always start out with a sketch layer. Whoops, forgot to turn on my tablet. Turn on, damn it. There we go, turned on. And let's see, gonna zoom in a little bit more, and make sure my pencil is right for this, or my brush. Yeah, there we go. I'm thinking like a traditional sign, kind of crooked, maybe like this, and definitely not with white. Let's see, should probably be something like this, maybe. And then, I guess not too crooked, like that. And I suppose it should be made out of planks, and I don't know, could add, like, make the planks different widths just to make it a little bit more authentic, I suppose, or handmade, or just rickety. Like this, maybe. Let's just clean up the worst here. I don't know. And maybe a question mark on it, if I can remember how to draw those. Yeah, should probably move it a little bit. Or shrink it. Or both. Yeah. Now the question is, can you read it at a distance? What does it look like? It should be okay. Hopefully. Yeah. This is fine for now, at least. I don't know, I could put a little bit of grass on it, because we all know that there's plenty of grass inside dungeons and stuff. Not. Let's just lower the opacity a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'll call this the line art layer. And this is basically where I kind of try to draw it pretty as can be. And I might draw it outside the lines, that's okay. There we go. And I think I should probably make the planks kind of, I think it's called tapered inwards. And for that I'm going to need to rotate my canvas a little bit, because, I don't know, I have a bad drawing hand today. I actually forgot to warm up, which is kind of bad. But since this is just placeholder art, I'm sure it'll be fine. There we go. Planky plank. Some more planks. Maybe like that. Or maybe not. Delete. Yeah, so I don't know if I like this sign at all. I basically want the sign to be sort of an info block in the game for when you need to get info. Previously, I had it drawn directly on the back wall, so to speak, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. So for now, I think I'm just gonna go with a placeholder like this. I call this layer flat color because of the way that I draw. I basically just select like this. Let's say I want this to be green grass. I just select it like that, go in here, find a green color and make it not too saturated, because otherwise it'll just be horrible on the eyes. Like that. Let's just use that. And then I press Alt and Delete to fill in, and Control D to remove the selection. And this is fine for now, grass-wise. It needs shading in a moment, but I start out by just adding color. You know what? I'm gonna do this first, like this. I'm thinking if the question mark, what color should that be? Oh, that's actually a good suggestion from ACP Twitch. And hi, welcome to the channel. Good to see you, buddy. ACP Twitch says make question marks separate and then layer them. Yeah, that is a very, very good idea. And I would do that normally, except I didn't think. So I kind of just wanted to draw graphics really, really quick so I could get back into Unity and make the code part of it. But yeah, I definitely should be doing that. Anyways, plopping the color in. Normally, it would be a good idea to have each of these different colored elements on their separate layer. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to plop it all in at once. And I'm thinking probably some light, not quite white, but light color here. And adding that. And I could go up here in my select and just pick inverse and then use the Alt key to kind of carve the stuff that I don't want in my selection, which would be this. and here. No! That was not quite what I wanted. I forgot where I started. There we go. Much better. There we go. So yeah, once I have all this removed from my selection, I should probably not have done it this way. It would probably have been easier to just trace it all, but oh well. This should be fine. Let's find some woody color here. This maybe? Not woody, more orangey. Is this woody? Not quite, but it'll do for now. Okay, so I have this. I'm just gonna add in an extra line art layer just to kind of reinforce it like that, and then I use Control E to flatten it down so these two become one. Now that I have my flat color layer, I will add an extra layer here. You hold down the Alt key between these two layers. That basically makes it so that now that these are connected, this layer is masked by the flat color layer. And what this means is I cannot draw outside of the flat color layer. So let's just, for instance, say that, you know, I want to draw like this and like, you know, I can't draw outside, which is pretty neat. So what I do is I add in this color, which is 090914, and I fill this layer, and then I make it transparent to about 40%. It really depends on what you're doing, but for me this is okay, 40%, because then I'm going to grab the selection tool, and I'll kind of imagine that, you know, the light source is kind of up here, so it lights this way, then highlights are going to be up here and shadows are going to be down here in the corner. So, you know, I'm going to start here. I'll do these blades of grass and kind of add in some highlights to them. I basically just select it, and then just press delete. So let's say this piece of board here, for instance, it kind of needs a highlight that looks like this, maybe. Or not. I do not like that at all. I guess probably almost all of the top of the board. Whoops, wrong. Something like this, maybe? Maybe. Yeah, that's a bit better. And then this layer would kind of shadow down onto this one, so I'm not gonna shade as far down on that. And it's not really the optimal way of doing it, but yeah. Today's lazy day. For me, anyway. And then here, I know that this part would shade at least to it down here, so I would do something like that. Bang. And then zoom out a bit, look at it, and go, this looks usable. Obviously, you couldn't see the hand gesture I just made, but my hand was like, eh. Okay, I'm going to remove this part here, and is it in the middle? Probably not. I could put it in the middle. I'm not going to bother right now. Save as. And let's... Ooh, do you see what it says here? Sword notification, blah, blah, blah. It's because I've made brand new follow notification thingamajigs. I've also mixed in some audio, so yay. Can't wait to see the first follower. But let's get back to what's kind of more important. The game. Let's go in here. I need to save it in my assets folder under graphics. And let's call it tile. Tile sign, info sign. Yes. Luckily, Unity accepts these files, so this thing I've already made, I could just go in here and the sign's in there. Now I need to fix... Hey, Mr. Silvermatch, welcome to the channel. Now I need to make sure that the scaling is right, because when you import a graphic or a sprite to Unity, by default it will be, let's see, where's the signpost here? By default it will have 100 pixels per unit, but I'm kind of making my game... Nice. Did you just press follow? Because I didn't see anything so far. Or maybe I forgot to turn my audio up. Let's see. Oops, where is it? Here. Notification widget. Ooh, awesome. Thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. Sorry I missed it. Oh, I'm such a dork. And thank you for the compliment. Nice. Okay, so basically, back to the sprite here. When I imported it, it was 100 pixels per unit. But I want all my 128 by 128 tiles to be exactly one Unity unit wide. So when I import it, I need to set it here to pixels per unit, 128. And when I give it the packing tag, it basically tells Unity that I want this particular sprite to be a part of the Tastygraph sprite sheet, which is quite neat, because that way your sprites are all bundled together in one tile sheet or a sprite sheet, and that saves on draw calls and other programmy stuff. Let's call this info sign. And I'm going to need to go into prefabs before I mess up all my portals. Let me just put it down here. There we go. Okay, so I have a box collider. Oops. On my info sign, I need to adjust the width a little bit on that. This is the area that the player can basically activate this sign. So whenever the player is inside of this box or some part of him touches it, it needs to display some info text. And that's listed here. So let's just say type some info here. There we go. And let me just apply. Actually, I'm too lazy to put it there, so let's just put it where the player's at, if I can remember where the player starts at. Or down here. Whoop. It's a pretty messy map though, but I think we'll be fine. Let's test it and see if it works. It did not. Why did it not work? Oh, actually, I think I might know why it didn't work. It is... Oh, it is on the right... Oh well. Let's open up my script. I don't remember what I put there. On trigger enter, blah blah blah. Oh, wrong script. There we go. Set the text. Yes. Oh, did I remember to? It should be working. definitely should be working. Let me just try this thingy here again. Unless, of course, I renamed my player, which I shouldn't have. Oh, embarrassing on stream. Oh, and if you can hear scratching in the background, then I apologize. That is the cat. Apparently, she's trying to dig her way out of a litter box. I hope she does not succeed, because I don't feel like cleaning it up. Set active, show text, all of that should be working because I have the game object here. And I have my script here. What about this thing? Do I have any text here? No. And also I shouldn't. And this is a trigger. It's supposed to have a trigger. It should be able to detect it though. Oh. If there's total silence, it means I'm thinking. Now what I don't really get is that it works on my door, which it should. So what is it that I have here that I don't on the other? Nothing. So it should be working. Let's try something else. I'm just gonna copy this and make a new script that I'll be using for my signs. Create a C# script. Mr. Silvermatch says, where do you set show text to true? But the thing is, yeah, that's a good question. Did I put that in? I might have put that in the win flag. I hope not. That would be really dumb. Let's check it out. I probably did. Let's see. Win flag. Ah, yes, I did. Oh, sorry for moaning. I did. I suppose I could just add it to my new sign manager. Yeah, I'll do that. Sign manager. Show text. We don't really need a use button for the sign. It just needs to display whenever I'm close. And let's do a fixed update instead. I should probably do a fixed update on the other thing think it is. I forgot. It is the Collider 2D. Other. And I want to check if whoever is in the trigger is the player. And if that's the case, then I'll want to show text equals true. Oops. And then I could do an on trigger exit 2D. Actually, do I need to supply anything when it's on exit? Oh, I do. Let's do that then. Collider 2D other. And then let's just copy this here. Paste it and set it to false. Oops, false. I don't really need to set this to active though, because that basically just enables the show text component, and it really should be enabled by default. Why am I confusing myself with my code today? That doesn't make any sense. Do I have code in here that... I suppose at some point I thought it was a really good idea to maybe deactivate the text component. There's really no reason for me to have this at all. Okay, so show text is set to false, but that doesn't really do anything. Did I really put that much code in here? Because that is just bad. I have a feeling I might have. Oh. Oh. It's because this is a Boolean. I'm not really sure that's a clever way of doing it, but I suppose I could do that for now. So I do need it. Fixed update. And then, let's see, text overhead. What was I doing here? Oops, over here. Text overhead and set active. I see now what I was doing. Still not sure if it's clever or not, but at least now I remember what I was doing. That's what happens when you forget to put comments in your code. Change the active inactive state of the text component based on the show text boolean. There we go. I should have done that before. Alrighty. Now it should be working. But only one way to find out. Let's go back to, whoops, where's the sign? Over here. It has this script, which I don't want, and I'm gonna add the sign manager script and drag in this component here and click apply. You don't really need to click apply at the moment, but that's just basically so that I update my prefab down here. It should be working now. Time to find out. Bling. There we go. Now it works. So now it's time to add this thing into, actually I need to get the sorting layer. I want it to be, yeah, default is fine. It's in front of enemies, in front of collectibles, in front of the background. It's behind the player. Yeah, I could always change it later. Let's delete this sign. Click create. This is the tile map engine thingy where I make my tiles. So I'll call this signpost and find my prefab inside my tiles. Nope, out here. Info sign. Let's drop it here. Close it. And now I can basically paint it in. I just need to make sure I'm drawing on my platformer system because I have a tile map for the background and I have a tile map for the rest, basically. So let's start at the first map up here. And let's place a sign here. Obviously, it's kind of silly to place a sign that says WASD or arrow keys to move, seeing as, you know, you start here and you kind of need to... Oh, kitty cat is on the table playing with the tablet pen. Now she's looking at me very angrily because I took it away. It doesn't make sense to have the sign there, but I'm kind of thinking you don't really need to be told how to move. So maybe placing a sign here was kind of silly. I could place a sign here though. Ta-da! And let's test it. So I'm going to go in here, open up my info text thingy, and then this sign could be, welcome to the game, person. And then this sign could be, use levers to affect the world around you. Wow, I need to do something about that box though. Around you? Oh, I could do an enter, but I don't want to. Hey, Casey, welcome to the channel. Good to see you. Well, I don't think you missed that much. Casey says, great to see you online again. Seems like I missed some new stuff. You missed very little. I have to admit, I haven't done a whole lot on the game since last time I streamed. It's been a very, very busy period, 3-4 days. Right now I'm working on the sign, which is essentially just a modification of the door, where when you stand in front of the sign, it shows you some text. Which means I could click on, that is, if I can grab it, I could click on this, and I could delete it, because we don't need it anymore. And I could probably delete that one too. And let's find the player and dump him there. I need a more efficient way of moving the player around. This is kind of meh. I should probably make it so that I could just select a starting point and then add a boolean or something to that makes it be the starting point for the player. But yeah. So how are you guys? And what have you been doing while I was not streaming? See? Welcome to the game. We now have a sign. La la la. Use levers to affect the world around you. And then use. And I suppose I should add a bunch of signs here and there, but that is kind of boring, so I'm not going to do that on stream. Thanks, ACP. Now we just need some followers so that they can see the new sword. We have Mr. Silvermatch who followed, and then the sword came up and all, but I forgot to turn my audio up, so I didn't even hear it myself, which was kind of bad. I added a bit of lights here and there as well to the game. Just, you know, to some of the maps. And that reminds me, I need to work on some of the particle effects, and I've been thinking about making it so that when you run on the ground, it makes a little bit of dust. I mean, obviously that's not a gameplay thing, that's just fluff, but I kind of like fluff. I would like to make it so that he spawns little dust particles. Oh, nice. Been learning coding, says Casey. I've been okay. I went to a medieval fair this Sunday and forgot to take into account that I have not seen the sun for a very long time, and we were out there for about 5-6 hours, and I was kind of red in the face when I got home, which is not a good thing. But on a positive note, I did get to buy a goblet, or like a cup shaped like a skeleton, and you hold onto the spine, and it's really cheesy, but it's awesome, and I'm going to be using it in case I put the cam on at some point. Then I'll be all like, I'm drinking from my skeleton cup. ACP Twitch says, I need to rewrite my match 3 algorithm. The original made things too cumbersome to create 5 match blobs. Oh, that sucks. And yes, you need 5 match blobs. I freaking love it in Bejeweled or similar games where you have 2 on one side and 2 on the other side, and then you land a 5th, or you know, you make an L shape with 2 vertical and 2 horizontal, and it just goes. So are you going to be able to make like crazy matches where you have 2 on the left side, 2 on the right side, and 2 below, and then you make like a monster T and it just explodes. It clears the screen. Will you be able to do that, ACP Twitch? Or did I just open up a can of meh on you? I'm gonna mute the mic for a second while I drink. And I'm back. Yeah, I remember when I tried Bejeweled for the first time, I was just completely sold. I love the Zen mode where you're just matching gems infinitely. Later, when I saw the game called, I think it was called Puzzle Quest. Oh, mixing the matchy thing with a teeny tiny bit of character stuff, that was just awesome. Code Sparrow says, Tastygraph, have you ever worked, or had you ever worked with libgdx? And I have to say, sorry, nope, I haven't. But I think there might be some people in the channel that can help with that, because a lot of these people are quite good programmers, or, you know, by my standards they are. And ACP Twitch says, an arbitrary number of matches are clustered together into a 5+ match blob. Oh, cool. And Casey says 2 times 5 plus 2 times 3 with some huge text popping up and heavy music while the whole screen is shaking. Yeah, I like that. I like my game juice. That's exactly what I like. I mean, that's why I added camera shaking to this game in the first place, because, you know, I really, really wanted to kind of get that feeling of, you messed up. Shaky, shaky. Code Sparrow says that he's looking for how to integrate JBox 2D into his project. So if anyone out there can help with it, Code Sparrow could use a hand, I think. I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm just assuming that he needs help. Maybe he doesn't. Okay, so this morning I had the idea of implementing the sign. That was kind of the I took a shower and I got an idea thing. The question is, what should I add now? One of my students earlier today was like, I can draw monsters for your game. And I was like, sure. Except he drew an archer, which looked kind of silly. And he also drew, I mean, granted, he's like 7 years old or 8 years old. I was just gonna look at his stuff and then redraw it and then give him credit, and he would be like, "Yay, I made a monster for my teacher's game." But um, he was not quite as original as I had hoped for. Because sometimes when you talk to kids, they're like, "Yeah, you should totally make a monster with like a toaster sticking out of his head, but instead of toast coming out, then it should be like a baguette, and then he should have like two baguettes, and they should be like ears, and he's like the toaster bunny baguette creature thing with bread ears." And I'm like, are you on crack, kid? By the way, this creature didn't come from a kid. I just kind of made it up as I was talking. So maybe I'm on crack. But yeah, I mean, that's the cool part about interacting with kids. They kind of don't have the same limitations to their creativity as some people do when they're adults. Um, I generally don't have much of a limitation to my creativity, but then again, you know, not my ideas aren't always that great either. It's just silly stuff most of the time. Um, so yeah, but I kind of want to add maybe an animated enemy to work a little bit more on that, like a flying, flapping something. Um, I guess it could be interesting to maybe make a. Sorry for burping. Um, make a bat or something, but not really a bat because they're kind of boring. I could open up a drawing page and then do a little bit of sketching. Let's see, I need my pencil tool or my brush. And Casey says, kids are the best reviewers because they're most of the time very honest and original. That's true. Not necessarily original, though. Most of the time, my students are like, you should totally make this awesome new game that's insert total description of existing game. It's like, they're not very original. ACP Twitch says, here's some MS Paint artwork I made for a Game Jam game. It's what I show people whenever they say my art sucks, so they feel better. Oh, dare I press this? Let's see. Yeah, excellent use of glow. It's not crappy though. I mean, this is just the thing is if you're a programmer, then you've developed a skill for programming. If you're an artist, then you've developed a skill for painting. Casey feels bad. Does that mean you draw worse than this stuff? One of the things I notice a lot with programmer art is the use of very saturated colors. Like people will go do this, let's say I want to pick a blue. So you go to the blue and then it's like, this is the bluest of blues. I should use this. Let's see. I'm going to make a creature. It needs to, this is a bad pen. I need a better pen. This is my creature. It needs to be eye-meltingly blue. The bluest of blue. And then it needs the reddest of red eyes. Because they're eyes of doom. And then he needs like a robot, metally, silvery kind of thing in his head. Because half of his head was eaten by something. And then you do like this, and then, ooh, I need the red again for the eye. But the thing is, it's like it's kind of hard to tell what's actually going on when the colors are so horrendous. Let's just finish this guy up. Dirt, 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 dirt. So what you could do if you're doing something like this is tone down the colors just a little bit. You know, it doesn't have to be like face meltingly. Obviously, I'm going to tone down the black as well, but yeah. Tone it down a little bit. Kill the saturation just a little bit. And maybe add a bit of... taking your argument to the extreme. If you're a child, you get good at childing. Well, I mean, it's true, Code Sparrow. The more you do something, technically, the better you get. I mean, obviously, you're not going to become a great programmer if you just copy paste the same code over and over, and you're not going to become a great artist if you draw the same something over and over. And Casey says that looks amazing. Teach me. I can try. And then ACP Twitch says you just made Monstro 2 from Binding of Isaac. I'm not really sure how he looks, but the different. Oh, do I have robot voice again? Damn it. I tried everything, really. I tried turning down the graphics effects of my Windows. I have my keyboard set to show my CPU and RAM usage, and I'm not seeing any spikes in it, so I'm really wondering what the heck is doing that. I'm hoping the robot voice is gone. Please tell me it's gone. Tell me the robot voice is gone. Ooh, awesome. Thank you very much for the host, Corpse. Much appreciated. Yay! My hands are in the air, but you can't really see it because no cam. Anyways, back to this thing here. After toning the colors down a little bit, like killing the saturation, it's a bit more bearable to watch. Then what you could do is, like, pick this color from the eye, go back to your brush tool, and if you set the mode to screen, then it kind of lightens it up. No! Robot voice again. Oh. I hope it goes away soon. Sorry about that. I don't really know what I can do to get away, to not have it there. Hello, Divine Quadon. Welcome to the channel. I hope my robot voice is not here. It's gone. Casey says it's not a bug. It's a feature. It's a bug for me, though. I really don't like the having the robot voice. We are the Daleks. Destroy. Destroy. I don't know if I still have the robot voice. That's the thing. SCP Twitch says, what tool do you use for your stream control stuff? I don't know. Do you mean like T-board? I use T-board for some stuff. And I use OBS for, well, streaming. Can you tell I'm kind of a dork when it comes to this stuff? Anyways, I'm drawing in screen mode now, so it kind of lightens it up a little bit. This is not something I would normally recommend doing, but if you're not a super duper artist, yeah, Corpse, it's sometimes it comes supposedly when the computer is overheated or something. I don't know, but the thing is, I've been running diagnostics and there's nothing showing that it is that. So I don't know. It's probably a sound driver issue. It's just really weird sometimes it does it a lot, and sometimes it barely does it. So I'm hoping that it won't. Ah, that sucks. Mm. Oh man, I have no idea why it keeps doing that. Maybe I should just go back to not talking. I don't know if it helps to mute the mic and then turn it on again. It could be Code Sparrow that some of my programs are misbehaving with OBS, but the thing is, they never used to do that in the past. It's something that it started doing recently after I started streaming again. I don't know. Oops, wrong color. Hey, Zonoth, welcome to the channel. Anyways, I didn't really want to draw this thingy. I just wanted to illustrate like a simple point where when you oversaturate your colors, it kind of makes the thing that you're doing a little bit hard to look at. And that is bad. Divine Quadan says, "Is this a character you'll be animating?" No, it was someone showed me their art, and I kind of explained what I think could or should be done to improve the art. As in desaturating the colors. And Corpse says, "Anyways, I need to make something to eat now. I haven't eaten all day." Dude, you need to go get some food. Divine Quadan, it was just like a quickie drawing. I have actually thought about making, like, redrawing my game character, because right now he is, he's a little bit boring, being a ninja and all. You know, I kind of want a character that has a bit more personality than this guy. I drew him, but you know, he's super simple and not that interesting in my opinion. So my plan is to redraw him at some point. Casey, I have one monitor, and you were like, I need a third monitor. One for programming, one for streaming, and one for my favorite anime girls, whatever that is. And ACP Twitch says, I want a third monitor for game development. I want a cable for my second monitor so I can, like, I don't know, have two monitors. Actually, it would be quite useful to have one for Unity and everything, and then the other for a bunch of programs that I want to be able to look at, but I don't really. I don't want you guys to see that I'm constantly like checking my stream stats and stuff like that. Ooh, 15 viewers. Awesome. It's probably a good idea that I don't check my stream stats because I'll be all like conscious about it. And welcome to a bunch of people who are here. Welcome to the channel. And Casey says his new one's gonna come this week. Nice. New monitor. I love the smell of new monitor in the morning. I'm thinking we should make a new maybe a new enemy. Because that's something I've been wanting to add to the game for a while. Let's see. I could start by doing some sketches. I was just about to say some scratches, but we don't want to do scratches. We want to do sketches. I'm thinking... Yeah, Casey says, well, maybe the ninja doesn't fit the environment that much. And I kind of agree. I mean, I would rather have a knight, or sort of a little adventure of some sort. But let's see. I'm gonna start with a little bit of warm-up stuff just to kind of get the ball rolling. So for warm-ups, I'll just do a bunch of these little small people here. And they have legs and arms and eyes. And this little guy is, he could be a knight. He could be all like, I'm a knight wearing this helmet, and it has this thingy here on top. Or maybe I'm just wearing a bomb as my head. You will never know. He also needs some shoulders. And, I don't know, pants. Pants would be nice. And then we could have another little guy. That could be an orc. He's all like angry face. Why you draw me like that? His eyes are all out in the sides like this. Because that's what I kind of think orcs do. And he needs a mohawk, because mohawk. No, not eyebrows like that. That's bad. Divine Quaden says, what's the hardest genre in you guys' opinion to create, that is? I don't know. For me, the hardest genre would probably something that requires a lot of abstract code, procedurally generating content, keeping track of stuff in a non-visual way. Like making a roguelike game, or an RPG is something that I would really like to do. And when I say RPG, I basically mean a game with a bunch of numbers to go up and down, because we like numbers. Um, but yeah. And Casey says Indiana Jones, but you don't need to decide for one. Choosing skins for the fun is the easiest way, I think. Oh, so you mean like making different characters and then the player can decide between different skins? Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And Code Sparrow says, make the eyebrows like this. And then there's a little O with a funny squiggly above it. And it's all like, nyeh, nyeh. Ed could. And here's the nose. And he needs more of a triangular kind of head. Now he looks kind of like a whale. Whale. It's okay. You can be a whale. And he's got like maybe a little pot belly. Whoops. See, normally I would just delete it and redraw it, but now I'm going to use the power of Photoshop and just move it myself. Now he looks like a mushroom. He is a mushroom. He has a little... What does he have? Spear? Maybe. It's a spear. With a little feather on it. Rip. Rip. Feather. That's a fat feather. Let's use Photoshop again. By the magic of Photoshop, I enhance you. Oops, wrong. Oh crap, I suck. Let's try that again. Root. I know I'm super lazy, but hey, it's just a sketch, and it's Photoshop, so I get to be lazy. Plop. Let's see, oh, girlfriend's home. I'm gonna need to go FK for a few minutes, and I will be right back. Sorry about that. And I'm back. And I'll try to see if I can read up on the code. Sorry, on the chat. Oh, wow. Loads of stuff. Um, the gist of it is a lot of stuff. People talking about coding and which genre is the hardest. And Divine Quadrant says, how many games have you guys made? And ACP Twitch says, I've made a pile of games, but none professional. And Casey says, welcome back. So I say thank you. Like, robot voice. I'm gonna maybe muting fixed it. Did muting fix it? If not, I will mute again. I hope it fixed it. If not, then damn it, is what I have to say. In my time, I don't know. I mean, I have a worse track record than ACP Twitch because, oh, muting doesn't fix it. I have, I've been making games or trying to learn how to make games for at least 6 years or so, since late 2009, maybe. Alright, Corpse, thanks for popping by. I'll see you later. And thanks for hosting. Corpse is gonna go upload some videos to YouTube and stuff. And Divine Quadrant says, I only have about 5, but they're small. I'd say the real challenge is making one by yourself. Yeah, I'm making mine by myself, and it can be pretty tricky sometimes to stay on target, so to speak, because there's so much stuff that can distract you. Belly button. He could have a belly button, and then like a skirt kind of thing. Maybe not a skirt, but something. Skirt-like. Not really sure what this is. I guess it could be leaves. Leaves. Or feathers. Actually, it would be kind of weird to have feathers down there, but let's just say that these are leaves. They are now. Code Sparrow says the real challenge is having an actual game idea as in gameplay, and then Divine Quadrant says that's fun for people. And ACP Twitch says game mechanics isn't the hard part usually. Well, not the mechanics, says Code Sparrow, but the actual game idea. For me, sometimes implementing the mechanics is the hard part, but that's because I'm not really much of a programmer. You could have a shield here, because that's what knights do, they have shields. And a sword, maybe? Here's a sword. Yeah. And ACP Twitch says, the hard part for me is all this stuff that's wrapped around the mechanics, like the interface. He has ideas, they're all bad. Don't say that. Your ideas, I'm sure they're not all bad. And sometimes ideas can start out being unoriginal, and then eventually you refine them or iterate upon them and kind of change it to something that's a little bit better. Why am I making these kind of ears? It's like cat ears. He doesn't even look like an orc. Here, have a cat nose. Burp. He is no longer an orc. And Casey says ideas are only as bad as the execution is. That's true, I guess. I mean, a great idea with a crappy execution is kind of crappy, but a bad idea with awesome execution could be fun to play, I suppose, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of ultra high polished games, and I don't really enjoy them, even though they're polished. The ideas are crap, but the execution is awesome. Divine Quadrant says try to define them and remove and add things you think people will like or dislike. Yeah, that's usually how I work when it comes to developing. ACP Twitch says check my Twitch page and try and play the game Valence. Let's see, Twitch profile. Open URL. Go to channel. Code Sparrow says Tom Was Alone is a good game. Somehow, even though it only has a couple of mechanics. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's an example of great gameplay in a simple kind of box. Valence. Oh, not me, because I'm doing art stuff. Oh, sorry. Well, excuse me. I'll just keep this for later, and I'll check out your stuff. And while I'm at it, follow! You are now following ACP Twitch. Awesome. Let's go back to arting. Back to doing some training on the arts. So this isn't an orc anymore. It's a cat orc thing. Kind of need to work on my drawing skills, to be honest. I have at the moment I'm doing a lot of arts with my hands, having to do stuff. Oh, Code Sparrow says, see you around Tastygraph. I gotta get back to it. All right, Code Sparrow, thanks a lot for popping by, and I'll see you around. And ACP Twitch says, I don't want to distract you from your stream. Thank you. I appreciate that, because sometimes I do get a little bit easily distracted. I want new enemies in the game, and I kind of want them, I don't know, maybe like a skeleton guy would be kind of cool, because drawing skulls is always awesome. Skull. Skulls always have these sort of little thingies here, and they go down like this, and then teeth. Okay, that was lazy. Let's try that again. Like that, and then teeth, 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 and more teeth, and then you have eyes and a nose. This kind of looks like a monkey, a bad-looking monkey. Let's shrink it down a bit so it kind of fits the others here. That's fine. Maybe a little smaller. Like that. Shrunk. It looks, I don't know. It kind of needs the jaw as well. It's a bit like an orc now, though, with these. Oh! Yay! Welcome to the channel, Andreas, our latest follower. Yay! You get to see my new follower notification widget thingy. ACP Twitch says, ooh, Skull Monkey, one of the best games for PlayStation 1 that nobody has ever heard of. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of Skull Monkey, but then again, I never actually played much on PlayStation 1. After I got Final Fantasy VII, that's kind of the only thing I played. That and Tekken and Street Fighter 2 EX Turbo Alpha something, whatever it was called. It was one of the worst Street Fighter games, but I still played the crap out of it because it was all that I knew at the time. Let's try again. I should work on my skull drawing skills. Divine Quadan says, "You're making all the graphics? You're a beast. I have to do the same for my upcoming one." ECP Twitch says, "I loved Street Fighter EX." Really? So you mean like the one for the PlayStation called? Oh yeah, that's the one. The one with Skullomania. My little brother and I used to play it, and he's like 10 years younger than me, so I was probably, I don't know, like 16, 18-ish. He he played so hard in that game that he had blisters on his thumbs because the game basically had this thing where you could, it's a Street Fighter game. You could hit your opponent and force him into the air with a move. And then when he was in the air, if you kept hitting with specific air moves, you could just keep your enemy in the air permanently. And my brother did something like, I'm guessing like a 200 plus hit combo. And it was like, I would just go AFK because once I was in the air, there was nothing I could do to get out of it, at least not that I knew of. And my brother would just juggle me for like minutes and minutes and minutes until he finally, thanks to karma, got blisters on his thumb and he was like, "Yeah, my finger hurts." That's what you get for juggling your brother in Street Fighter 2 EX Alpha. You little horrible brother, you. Nah, I love him. But it was loads of fun. Um, let's see. I think this guy's okay, and then he kind of needs like um, a rib cage. I'm just gonna draw it all here at the moment because let's see, rib cages are somewhat similar to this, and they've got these thingies sticking out of them like this. And then there's a spine in the back, blah, 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 like that. And then they have this, it's sort of like a, yeah, something like this with a hole in it or something. And then there's these bones sticking out. Now I'm kind of getting the wrong dimensions, so to speak. The anatomy is not quite like the other things that I'm doing. But let's try it anyway. I could always shrink it later. Bah. Yeah, let's see. Let's try to... Nah, let's shrink the legs down just a little bit. Boink. Reet. Yeah, we like stubby legs. I could go with that. That works for me. And I should probably draw this guy from a more side view perspective kind of thing, if I can do that. And he's got these thingies here and a rib cage like this, and some evil eyes, evil, and teeth. It's very easy to draw when you're just scribbling because no one can really tell what you're doing anyway. And then arms like this. Scribble. And Casey says the last Street Fighter he played was Street Fighter 2. Muting while I'm grabbing a drink. I should get some reference though. So I'm gonna pop on to Pinterest. I'm hoping I don't get robot voice now. I probably will. Or not. I mean, it's not like the processor ever gets above like 20% on the CPU. Andreas says, I'm planning on making a 2D side-scroller with some friends. Got any tips on how I can direct the graphics as a designer? So by 2D side-scroller, do you mean like a shoot 'em up, kind of like with spaceships, or do you have a character, or... And, awesome that you're gonna make a game with your friends. Okay, let's see, what was I going for? I was going for skull. I should know how to draw skulls. Should be... Ooh, that is awesome. I like the angry face on that one. And awesome keys as well. But that's not really why I'm here, is it? Ooh, that's a nice helmet. You will be saved. And then I can pin it. I have various boards that I use. Let's see. I have a skull board. Here we go. Because I need that one for later. It's awesome. Andreas says it's kind of like Mario. And then ACP Twitch says play Giana Sisters Twisted Dreams. Very well made modern platformer. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The thing I don't understand about your question, Andreas, is that you're saying how can I direct the graphics as a designer? So does that mean that you're going to tell someone else to draw the graphics, or will you be doing the graphics yourself? Because if that's the case, then just pick a theme and stay with it, I suppose. Oh, this is awesome. But I should ooh, I like that. I should really maybe go with cartoon, see if I can find something. See, I really like this style, and I like that one, the one in the top here as well. Hey, the Jared123, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you here. The Jared says, I suggest you make a game with the ability to fully customize characters. Only kinds of games me and a lot of people play. And multiplayer. Lol. Yeah, I mean, if it's the first game you ever make, then I would personally, I wouldn't go multiplayer. I think it's too hard for a first game. When you're making your first game, there's so much you can learn and do. So you really need to be careful not to add too much and kind of go over your ability. This is awesome. Ooh, nice. Thanks for the follow, Jared. Welcome to the Legion. I don't know why I said that. I don't even know why I typed it on the sword, but I kind of just wanted it to be something other than, hello, you are a new follower. Welcome to channel. Not that I had that before. Andreas says, I have 2 graphic artists that might... Oh, nice. Though we're all newbies. Well, we all have to start somewhere, I'm a newbie too. It's just a matter of, I guess, learning, practicing, getting better at it. I think I would like to have sort of maybe like a golem of some sort, like a big, something like this thing here, but more like a big blobby type of creature. I guess like a golem, but make it a golem mixed with a gelatinous cube. I don't know if you let me find that real quick. Gelatinous cubes, because they're also pretty awesome. Let's open you in a new tab and then go Dungeons and Dragons gelatinous cube. Okay. Let's try again. Gelatinous cube. That was not a lot. But yeah, basically it's like see-through, and you can see stuff inside of it, but I want it to be shaped like a golem. So let's check out Golem just to see what awesome stuff is here. I like that one. I like that it's kind of, I suppose he can shape his arms to form a portal of some sort, which looks really awesome. Thanks, Andrea. Thanks to Jared. And Andreas says, thinking about making an upgrade/leveling system for the main character. Yeah, I really wanted that in this game, but I was like, nah, too hard for me. So I didn't do it. I like this golem. It's awesome. Oh, this is pretty cool. This kind of slimy thing. But yeah, overall, what I'm looking for is humongous arms, kind of like a gorilla, um, shoulders, but then kind of see-through, which is probably going to pose a problem for me, but we'll see. I'm just going to grab all this stuff and put it in a... Actually, I'm going to put it in a whole new layer. Invisible. And let's call this the Golem sketch. And I'll figure out a name for him later. The Jared says, I'm also new, but I'm actually going into development on a third/first person game that's kind of a cartoon shooter where you play as a donut. Nice. It's going to be multiplayer and have customization. Sounds cool. So, what made you pick a donut for the main character? I mean, did you wake up one day and go, why are there no games where I can be a donut? And there probably is. Actually, I think there might have been a game on the Amiga 500 where you played as sort of a donut kind of character. Anyways, let's try to build this golem. He needs sort of like a hunchback almost, sort of like this, and then teeny tiny little head and humongous shoulders, arms. His arms are like this, and the other arm over here. Actually, that should probably be a bit lower. Massive arm. Brr. Like this, and then he's got these stubby little legs here in the back. And you can kind of see them through these huge arms here. Oh, my eraser definitely needs to be larger. Yeah. So Jared agrees with me. One day he woke up and he was like, the world needs more donut games. And then he decided to make a donut game. Whoops, wrong tool. Might be interesting though if the golem was sort of a see-through kind of slimy creature and then his head was a little skull. Like this. And then teeny tiny eyes. And a crack in the skull here and there. Actually, he shouldn't have these sort of sharp shoulders. Like the edges should be a lot more rounded because he's kind of jello-y. And I suppose you should be able to see through what's behind his arms, but I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that. Jared says, I like video games, and I also like donuts. Holy cow, yeah! And then he was going to make a game. That's good. Especially if you can get like a really cool mechanic in there, you know, where it makes sense that you're a donut and the stuff that you need to do kind of also makes sense. Yeah. And the Jared says, mixing three cliches, I like it. Skulls, slime, and golem. Yeah, I need to work on it though because I think one of my issues is that I don't really have my gorilla anatomy all sorted. And also rendering slime, I don't think I'll be able to do that very well. And I know this head should be a little bit tilted this way. This is a better perspective, and then this should actually be a little bit more like this. On second thought, I'm gonna grab all this, make it small, throw it in the corner here, like that. And I'm gonna make a bunch of ideas, and I think I'm just gonna work with silhouette to begin with, because this way I kind of get a feel for how this character is gonna look, and then I can work on the appearance later. Jared says our game prototype name is Donut Warfare, but hey, it works. You're right, it does. Okay, so as I suspected, this doesn't really have a great... Oh, nice! Thank you for the follow, Teosberg. Welcome to the Legion. This doesn't have a great silhouette. As you can see, it kind of looks... I mean, it's recognizable as this, but it doesn't... You don't really... I don't know, it just looks like a weird blob. So, I'm kind of thinking... I think maybe the shoulders should be a little bit more visible. So you got like a little small head and then big shoulders, big arms, huge fists. Don't worry, I'm gonna carve the fists in later. And then something like this. And then you can just sort of erase your way out of it like this. Bert, fist. Bert, Bert, Bert. This doesn't look very slime-like though, so might be better for a different kind of golem. Like a sword golem who happens to be floating. Right. So this is a different sort of approach that I sometimes use when I'm trying to come up with new ideas. I start out with the silhouette, and then I kind of work from there. Sometimes I'll do this, like just have squares and say, okay, it has a square head, it has a square body, and arms like this, maybe, or maybe something pops out of it like that, and then as I go, it kind of, the design kind of comes out of it somehow, and then I'll sort of try to carve and see what I can make of it. It's okay when you're working like I'm working, because I'm doing stuff for myself, so it's not like anyone's gonna be, you're working too slow or you should do differently or something like that. Then I kind of look at it and I go, this does not look like anything at all. And I'm like, okay, I'll just continue to carve and maybe add some more stuff in here. And all of a sudden we have a weird looking Godzilla or something. Let's try some holes. That didn't help, but or actually maybe it did. Actually could be kind of cool if it, oops. I just need to reset the view. Could be. Casey says it's an oven with arms and legs. It could be. Yeah, as I was saying with the holes, it could have holes like this. And now it's like a fish with legs and a periscope. Periscope! Oh crap, it's outside of the whatever. Actually, these legs need to be more like whatever. And I realize that these are all really silly things, but sometimes when you're kind of coming up with ideas, you sort of need to just try stuff out and see if it works. And, maybe you get an idea on drawing number 10 that could work for something later. I mean, it might not be exactly what you're looking for right now, but maybe later it can be used for something. And also it's nice to warm up your hands, because as it is right now, my hands are, I don't know, I kind of need to warm them up for the drawing. I'm feeling a little bit worn out from work. See, this kind of looks like a house, which is not what I'm going for. So let's do this. And now it's a neck instead, and this is a robot. Angry robot with silly looking eyes. Boop. The Jared says, what are you using? I don't do drugs, if that's what you mean. If you're asking what kind of tablet am I using, then it is a Cintiq 13 HD, which I really, really like, because I can see the drawing as I'm drawing it on the tablet. This this head looks dorky. Hello, Meteor 3. Good evening from Germany to me. Awesome. Or actually, is good evening from Germany from Meteor 3. Great. Good seeing you, man. Welcome to the channel. I think we're going to need to give this guy a body, because right now it just looks like a dorky house, and I don't want to draw a dorky house. Let's see. He needs like an oval shape, oh sorry, cylinder shaped kind of body with this thing here, and pops out an arm. Burp. And on his arm there is a, I don't know. Oh, nice. So there's like a 5-second delay on my channel. Cool. Maybe that's why I have robot voice sometimes. Actually, I shouldn't jinx it, because it's been a while since I had it. Jinxed. He's very big compared to the other guys. Let us fix that. You belong here. I don't really like that design. Meteor 3 says, actually, now with sound. Nice, dude. Thank you. You did. Or I think you did. Meteor 3 says, I made the right choice to just follow you. Yes, you did. I appreciate it. I got really happy when you guys are like, hey, we're having fun in your channel. And especially when you start talking amongst each other. Because there are so many people here on the channel that are really, really, really talented. So for me, it's pretty awesome to see that you guys come here to check out whatever the crap I'm doing, and then you start talking to each other because each other have cool stuff to say. Yes! Welcome to the Legion, Silver Star 93. Thanks for following. Much appreciated. Casey says, I don't think it's 5 seconds. More like 15 to 20. And it probably is, but if it, maybe because my clock is kind of different than your clock is, maybe. I mean, we're in the same time zone, seeing as you guys are German. Meteor and Casey are German. But my clock on the computer might be a little, I don't know, wrong. The Jared says, so, I have 2 questions. So, the Jared, maybe I have 2 answers. Meteor 3 says, wait, I test it with this message. I'll just keep drawing, and then we can see what the Jared asks. Do you ever play games? Says the Jared. Like Xbox or PS4 or PC? Sometimes I play PC games, but very rarely. I don't really play Xbox. My Xbox is in the living room, and I don't really enjoy playing on it that much. My girlfriend likes to play Fable, but she's completed, I think, Fable 2 and 3, maybe 1, I'm not sure. I I might play some games while I'm on the stream, but at the moment I kind of feel like making games is a bit more important for me anyways. Because when I play games, I do it on my Android. I play Summoners War, which is it's like a strategy game that I enjoy. It's a little bit pay to win, but I enjoy playing it without paying, so it's good. I mean, I buy a little package every month. No! Robot voice. Let's see if mute works, because robot voice is bad. The audio, please work. It's okay. See you in a bit, Meteor. Do I still have robot voice? Sorry. The Daleks are coming. Oh, it's better again. Casey says, Fable 3 wasn't that good. It was okay, but I enjoyed the Lost chapter the most. Oh, I was back before muting it? Oh, awesome. I think my girlfriend enjoyed Fable 2 the most. I don't know about number 3. It seemed like it was... I don't know. It seemed, when I was looking, it seemed like it was a lot about gathering money to save the kingdom or something, and then having to not sacrifice some kids or... I don't know. I need to draw something better than these 3 dorky looking things. Let's I want sort of a I really do want that jello golem-y kind of guy, but I'm just not sure I have a really good silhouette for it. I kind of want like a big hulking brute kind of dude with big chunky arms like this. Ah, Casey says, I haven't played Fable 2 because I had no console. It seemed to me like Fable 2 was better, but I don't know. I liked Fable 1, and then I never really played Fable again after that. I don't know. I mean, this particular silhouette is not really going to work because it's all mushed up into one like this. So eventually it's just going to be like, and then like that. And that's not a great silhouette at all. So, I think it's time to pop back into the game real quick and show it off to people. Oh, hello, Kelstek. Welcome to the channel. Good to see you, man. Kelstek was actually here earlier, but I wasn't streaming, so he was like, "Sup, Tasty?" But then 10 minutes later, I came back and he wasn't there yet. So, to those of you who have not seen the game, I hope you'll enjoy. I drew all the graphics myself, and I made these sound effects with BFXR. And yeah, ooh. Thank you for the follow, 42 Studio. Welcome to the channel. Ooh, kitty cat is throwing stuff on the floor. So today I made this sign here that says, well, text. Previously I had the text sort of here on the walls, which I really didn't like. I kind of like the sign mechanic more because it doesn't leave as much clutter on the screen. So basically it just says use levers or levers to affect the world around you. And clicking here, plop. So now you get to see all the silly little maps I've made. Or actually you don't, because one of the maps is not in the list of maps that it's supposed to visit after you open the door, so I'll have to manually go there. But at least you get to see some of the stuff, like the lighting that I've added recently, and some of the level design, and some of the mechanics. Like, dying by not really... Whew, nailed it! So yeah, there's, I want to do something about these things here. I'm thinking maybe they should sort of move up and down or something. They seem a little bit boring when they're just static like that. And I kind of want some new enemy mechanics as well. But I think we'll get to that later. Right now I'm... Oops. Right now I'm dying. See? Slime coming out of the pipe. I want to add a new enemy that's, I guess, in a way, sort of a boss. but that would require me to do coding, programming for the boss AI, which could be interesting to watch on screen. Casey says, I think that they don't feel very threatening. Do you mean the enemies? You're absolutely right. They're they're super boring. The little puffy things, you know, they're kind of just there, and you just jump over them, and that's it. So that's something I want to work on. But overall, I want to change the enemies of the game to kind of fit like a demonic theme. So rather than having like this sword of this kind and some thingies of another kind, I want it all to fit more together to have a theme. Boom. I added these guys. If I stay here, I'll die. Squish. These also look a little bit too happy. I guess I could maybe add a face with closed eyes or something so that at least they animate a little bit. Ouch. Animate a little bit. The green ones are one-way platforms, so you can jump through them. Plop. I don't really need to go left. There aren't any important thingies that way. Kelstick says, maybe make them close their eyes when they hit. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. My main problem is that I drew everything on one layer, so it's gonna... Darn it. It's gonna be a little bit time consuming to redraw them, but I think once I kind of get a feel for what exactly do I want, then I'll redraw them. And I'll have to redraw all the enemies, really. Or everything in the game, to be honest, because a lot of the graphics was made kind of like the sign, you know, where I'm thinking, I need a sign, and then I just draw it, and that's it. Oh, I suck at my own game. That's really bad. I should be better, considering how much I've played it. I still die all the time. Whoa. But yeah, it's a really good suggestion, Kelstick, that I should make my enemies a little bit more world aware, so that, you know, when the square thingies they hit the ground, they should close their eyes and just generally generally make it a little bit more alive and animated. And back to the beginning, because I kind of forgot to link in a bunch. The Jared says you should add music. It feels empty. Yeah, do you mean like music to the game or music to the stream? Because I did have music on my stream originally, but the problem is that it gets flagged and then I have no audio, and it's just, ugh, I don't want to deal with that. So while I'm streaming, I'm not going to be using any music for now. As for in-game, yeah, definitely. I mean, I need music in-game, but it's not going to be added for a while. Ideally, I would want to pay someone to make music, or maybe have them make it for free. That is, if I find someone who lives in La La Land and wants to do stuff for free. Yeah, exactly. One thing at a time, as Casey says. But it's true. I mean, the game sounds empty, because it is empty. I started working on this game, let's see, 2 months ago? Yeah, tomorrow it will be 2 months since I started working on this game. So a lot has happened for me in a very short time for this game. I think I want to have an enemy that can charge, and I think I want to maybe make it so that the enemy charges when he sees me. So let's, just for the sake of it, grab one of these zombies and make a copy of him. And let's see, hazards, enemy, zombie. Right. Let's drag, actually I want him in the map where I started. Let's put him here. Enemy, zombie, you get to live here. And then we'll call you enemy, I don't know, let's call him charger. And just for ease, let's make him a little bit red. I realize that this is not a good idea to just reskin enemies, but for now, I'm just gonna make him kind of red, and then when he berserks, he'll be darker red or something. So for now, you're just gonna be like that, and where are you? Let's just drag the enemy charger into my hazards thingy, so I have him there. And enemy charger needs to have gravity, and he does. And then he needs to look forward. I'm going to need to modify this script or maybe add something to it. Cool. Andreas added a link. I think this guy's music is completely free and made for video games. Cool. I'll have a look at that. I have a bunch of music that I bought from different sources previously that I never used in any of my games, so I might be able to get something from there. Worst case scenario, I could try to make it myself, but it'll probably sound pretty bad, so that's not necessarily a good idea. This is my look forward script, which basically, on update, it does a line cast, which is a straight line from one point to another point, and it checks to see if it hits the layer mask solid, like a wall or something similar to that. If it does hit something like that, then down here, if there's a collision, then it basically changes the direction that it's going. Hey, Fool Sang. Welcome to the channel. Fool Sang says, I can make the music if you consider squeaky chairs and farts music. I mean, it might work. I don't think I could listen to squeaky chairs and farting for like hours and hours, but you know, I'm up for a test. The Jared says, I think you should make a level that's sort of a maze. Yeah, I actually do have a level. It's not really a maze, but it has some stuff in it. And Meteor is back, so welcome back. And Kelstick says, some old school level design like lever removes wall to get objective, but also removes other walls that release enemies and swarms. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, that's a classic thing, you know, at least from games like Doom, where you go to get the key card, and then once you get the key card, then some stuff opens up and you're screwed because monsters are coming and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely. I'm just gonna pour some more drinkage. I'm thirsty today. So, back to this look forward script. I'm thinking I should probably do a whole new script that's kind of like a chargy script where I should do a line cast forward, and then if that line cast hits the player, then I should start sprinting forward, like, I don't know, tripling my movement speed or something. I'm thinking if that's probably going to make a really retarded kind of monster, but might be fun. I'll try. We'll see how it goes. I guess I just want him to just like sprint forever. Change direction if he hits a wall, of course, but that it's basically going to make him harder if you approach him head on. So let's see. We'll make a new script and call it Charger AI. And now I'm going to have to do some coding. I'm going to look at this stuff though. It does a line cast. Do I need a line cast? I think I do. And let's copy this here. Put it in the update. And instead of solid, we're going to mask it on the player. Exactly. Kelstick says you could use the same line cast to set the charge to false if the player is no longer in view, and if you want a tougher version, make them turn around when that's detected after the previous state of charging. The Jared says, gotta go. See you later. Okay, see you later, Jared, and thank you very much for popping by. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you soon. Let's see. Why is there no collision? Is that because we set it up here? Oh, we did. It's a Boolean. Let's call this one player detected. And now let's go here and make a Boolean called player detected. Oops. Stop it! Public. Do I need it to be public? Probably not. I don't think I need to access. Yeah, this could be private. Private bool player detected equal false, because we haven't seen the player yet. And then we have a site start, and that should just be this dot transform dot position dot yeah that'll work. And then site end is a game object, or actually it's a transform. So public transform site end, like this. So basically in the inspector you set the site end transform, and then he'll do a line cast from the character to the site end position. And if this line hits the player, the layer named player, then player detected is going to equal true. And also I want to do a visual line. It's a debug draw line, so it shows in my scene view, but it doesn't show in the game. This dot transform dot position, and I'll make this red just because it's red. We like that. So for the time being, I am gonna, you know what? Actually, I'd much rather do this. We'll say site end dot position equals, actually I'm not really sure I can do that. I wanted to set it to the player's position and then move it somewhat forward, but that's not really going to work, and then I'm going to need to set it constantly, and I don't really feel like doing that, so I'm not going to do that. I'll use a game